Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a top 5 all-in-one volumes. So yeah, it's just any manga where the English release is just got the whole story in just one volume. This is also my opinion, so it's not going to coincide with everyone else's, so keep that in mind. And yeah, the order could probably be switched if I did this on a different day, if I read, one of these a bit more recent, stuff like that. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And I also recommend all of these manga. So yeah, number 5 isn't, a bad manga. And to start off with, we have number 5, All You Need Is Kill. I really enjoy this. This might actually be the manga I enjoy reading the most out of all of these. It was one of the first books I ever got, and I still come back and reread it to this day. It's got the same story as that movie Edge of Tomorrow, so if you know that, you know this. Alien invasion, action, sci-fi, all that great stuff. I also think Takeshi Obata's artwork in this is fantastic. You have great fight scenes and detail, and yeah, it's just a really beautiful series to look at. I like the twists in the story. I like the ending as well. It comes to a nice conclusion in my opinion. And yeah, this is just a great little story to pick up if you're a fan of sci-fi and all that. Next up at number 4 is Solana. Now, I know a lot of people would have this a lot higher on their own lists, and that's fine, okay? I think Solana is a great manga, don't get me wrong. By putting it at number 4, I'm not saying that it's bad, okay? I love the realistic story and the realistic artwork by Inyo Asano. And with that realistic story, it gets somewhat depressing. But I also think that the heartwarming and uplifting scenes are some of the best in any manga, to be honest. And Solana is really good at juxtaposing those. And it's just a great story about life, which I highly recommend. Don't get me wrong, I love this manga, okay? By putting it at number 4 is not a disservice to it. I think it's fantastic, and this signature volume is really well made. So yeah, I am a fan of Solana, just there are 3 other all-in-one volumes which I prefer to this. And starting off that top 3 is none other than Satoshi Kon's opus here. This used to be my favourite all-in-one volume, but 2 other manga have risen above it. I still really like this manga. The story is best not spoiled because that initial twist, which is the foundation for the rest of the series, is really amazing. And I just really like the story. If you know Satoshi Kon and a lot of his movies which he's done, which are fantastic, stuff like Paprika, which deals with, kind of bending reality. This story, I think, is somewhat similar to that. And yeah, there are some kind of gory, maybe gruesome scenes which are not for everyone. So just be wary of those before going into Opus. And yeah, just fantastic characters and a gripping story. I just really love this manga. And, if you're a fan of Satoshi Kon movies, then I'm sure you'll enjoy this. This volume by Dark Horse is actually really nice, considering it's Dark Horse. And I have no idea if it's in print or not. I think it is. So, yeah, I've definitely got to recommend Satoshi Kon's opus. And this cover is beautiful. At number 2, I have got A Drifting Life by Yoshihiro Tatsumi. This is a fantastic autobiographical manga all about Tatsumi, who was a very prominent mangaka, back in the day. And it just tells the tale of his life. And, with that comes the creation of manga, how he did his series. And also you get a bit of history of Japan post-World War II. And it's just a really realistic and beautiful story about his life. And I read this in one sitting, and this is a thick boy, okay? This is not your My Hero Academia volume, which you can read in half an hour. But I read this in one sitting. I was completely gripped by it. The only downside that some people may find with this is that the artwork is, very different than your modern manga, to say the least. But I don't think that should, turn you off this series or anything. It's still got, good artwork. It's just different from what people are used to in the modern manga. But I've got to recommend Yoshihide Tatsumi's A Drifting Life. I just absolutely love it. I think it's actually kind of out of print now. I'm not too sure, so don't quote me on that. And it is a bit expensive, being as thick as it is. But I just wish it was longer, to be honest. I was just enjoying it so much, I didn't want it to end. But yeah, absolutely love this manga. Definitely worth a pickup. And finally, my number one favourite all-in-one volume has got to be Tekken King Crete Black and White. I know I literally only picked this up last week, but I just had an absolute blast reading this. Maybe it's number one because it's the one that I read the most recent. Maybe it's number one because it's by Taya Matsumoto and I'm pretty biased towards him. But I just absolutely love this manga. Treasure Town, which is where it's set, is one of my favourite settings. And I'm just a really big fan of manga that can do world building really well and that have interesting settings. So I absolutely love that about Tekken King Crete. There are so many interesting characters that inhabit it, and all their interactions with each other are super interesting as well. You feel like these are real characters in a real living and breathing world, and how his artwork, which is surreal, juxtaposes that, has just always been one of the factors that I've really enjoyed about this. And, I love the plot twists, and there's just so much about Tekken King Crete to keep you engaged. And if you're a fan of Taya Matsumoto, I cannot recommend this enough. It is, a bit more violent than a lot of his other works. Stuff like Sunny and Ping Pong aren't really violent at all, and this one is. So just be wary of that as well. But I absolutely loved Tekken King Crete and cannot wait to watch the movie next. So that was my top 5. I plan on getting quite a few more all-in-one volumes, maybe some more in the Gekika style, like A Drifting Life. So I look forward to revisiting this list later on, maybe at the end of the year. I'll do an updated version or something. And yeah, let me know what all-in-one volumes you've been enjoying lately. And I will see you all in another video, hopefully very soon.